A century ago, there were somewhere around 55 million African elephants. Now, sadly, there are less than 500,000 left. But even this number is a victory. Conservation efforts are desperately trying to pull elephants back from the brink of extinction. And this is because all over our damaged world, there are people that care deeply about the survival of vulnerable animals. This is the story of one critical conservation effort, fueled by the generosity of human beings, and of how, even with an expert team, things can go seriously wrong.
The capture itself is literally 2-3 hours and it's over and done with. But it's actually the planning leading up to it, so there's very little margin for error in this whole operation.
And a lot of things can happen. The animal might go down on its sternum. You can't keep it too long on its sternum because it might suffocate. All the guts and everything pushes
On the
up.
border of South Africa, where poachers operate, 2 giant tuskers are identified for a critical task. Tembe and Sundu are rarities, elephants with very large tusks, a characteristic not many present-day elephants can boast. 1,000 miles or 1,600 kilometers south is the Addo Elephant National Park, a conservation success. Elephants here have small or no tusks because centuries of hunting have forced them to evolve in this way. This is a problem because elephants need tusks for essential day-to-day tasks. Enter Tembe and Sundu and their vital mission. Global Animal Welfare Organization Network for Animals, together with the South African National Parks, began the massive task of moving the 2 giant creatures the 1,000 miles south to Addo, where they'd be safe from poaching and ensure the reintroduction of the gene for big tusks. Highly specialized teams and technology came together to track and dart first Sundu from a helicopter. He fell well in a clearing where he could be reached. The team raced to give the now sleeping giant immediate care.
So the elephant's safely down. It's a critical time because anything could happen. The drugs have to be administered just correctly. It's quite emotional seeing how tender the personnel on the ground here are with these animals. They really do care.
There's a lot of risks. So the first thing, obviously, you don't want to lose the animal. That's why the vet and the vet technicians sit with the elephant at all times, checking breathing continuously, checking heartbeat, blood pressure. The whole aim is to get this elephant as quickly as possible to there and that we can go.
Across the African continent, elephants are under threat from rapacious poaching and habitat loss. They're up against the might of corrupt governments, the twisted egos of trophy hunters, and human population explosion. Conservation efforts to protect them are their only hope.
So organizations such as Network for Animals are extremely important to us because unfortunately in the development countries, conservation is not on the highest priority list. And for us, we have to do with the budget we get. So without the support of organizations such as Network for Animals, it will be extremely difficult for us to achieve all our objectives, especially for elephant translocation like we're doing now currently.
Sundu is moved quickly through the thick bush towards a specially designed transportation unit. These custom-built vehicles are hugely expensive and need constant maintenance. It's deeply moving to see how he is so carefully loaded with constant monitoring by the vets.
Pull those legs.
Once in, an antidote is administered for Sundu. Elephants cannot lie in one position for long because of potential damage to their organs, so he needs to stand up for the long journey ahead. Everything goes as planned, and he slowly wakes up. But then the mood changes and the atmosphere becomes tense. Sundu is not responding as he should. He struggles to lift his head. They try to cool him down and encourage him to get up. But he doesn't. The tension increases.
We can't get him to stand up. If he doesn't stand up, that could mean that he could die. So things are very tense right now. We're hoping that everything's going to work out, but we're trying very hard. We're doing everything we can to get him up right now.
The team brings in equipment to help him lift his heavy head and tusks. It's heartbreaking to see how Sundu is trying to reach out and help the process. These are some of the risks that come with moving elephants, and it becomes clear to the vets that he's not reacting well to the medication. Sundu's well-being is paramount, and no chance can be taken with his life. The operation must be abandoned.
Now they're actually going to remove the elephant from the recovery crate now because he can't get himself up. They're just going to pull him out and let him get up by himself.
He is sedated again, removed gently from the truck, and laid down on the ground. Everyone waits anxiously at a safe distance for him to get up.
Come on, elephant.
And thankfully, he does. The relief and exhaustion of the team is palpable.
So Nick, not the result we wanted. Where to from now?
Look, we work with wild animals, not domestic animals. We never know how they're going to react to drugs. Every single person, it's like a human, they react differently to drugs what they get to. So at the end of the day, that's unfortunately what happened. But to me, I can still stand with a smile on his face. It's walked off into the sunset, still in its natural habitat, still free, and it's still happy. And I mean, it's not the end of the world. So tomorrow morning, back to work again, we start again, and we'll start most probably earlier and see how it goes.
Early the following day, the team moved to find Tembe, Sundu's fellow big tusker. He was located quickly and darted successfully, falling safely before the ground team raced to meet him. It's now up to Tembe to embark on the vital mission alone. He receives the antidote and stands up to the team's enormous relief. The long journey south for Tembe begins. After a grueling 27 hours, Tembe finally arrives in Addo.
It's been a long road.
The exhausted team put their last energy into helping Tembe safely out of the transportation unit and into the unfamiliar night. Tembe slowly walks down the ramp and into his new home. If Tembe does his work, then soon Addo's elephants will be back to normal, proud, tusk-wearing giants. And the good news is that overnight, Tembe acquired 4 admirers.
In future, if my kids would not be able to see what elephants is, it will be a huge loss for the human society. Even from an emotional point of view, from a spiritual point of view, it's just an incredible animal. If you know these animals intimately, you will see that those animals definitely has got a different behavior in captivity than what it is in the wild. So for me, it will be devastating if generations to follow will not be able to see the elephant in the African bush where it should be doing exactly what elephants should be able to do.
Many committed people are working tirelessly in difficult circumstances to ensure the survival of elephants in Africa. Organizations around the world depend on people who care, and this is just one example of how the generosity of the human spirit is working to protect and conserve vulnerable animals.